The next topic for discussion is identifying new topics of discourse. In order to understand what we mean by discourse topic, we have to differentiate between discourse topic and sentence topic. The notion of topic is used in a very different way with regard to topic of discourse. One important distinction is the one between discourse topic that refers to what a part of discourse is about. So when we are referring to discourse topic, we are referring to what the discourse is about. And sentence topic is what the sentence is about. If we look at this example, Mr. Morgan is a careful researcher and a knowledgeable semitist. When we look at here, Mr. Morgan is the topic of a sentence, but the abilities or capabilities of Mr. Morgan is basically what we mean by topic of discourse. So the topic of discourse refers to what the discourse is about and not what the sentence is about. Sometimes we ask questions such as, what is the need? Why discourse analysts study this notion topic? Now, the reason why topic needs to be understood is, or discourse analysts pay a lot of importance to the idea of topic, is that it enables the analyst to explain why several sentences or utterances should be considered together as a set of some kind. So the consideration of several sentences and utterances together being able to form a set of some kind separate from another set. So in order to differentiate between different sets, you need to have the sentences and utterances to be considered together. Also, it provides a means of distinguishing fragments of discourse which are felt to be good and coherent. So when you are looking at certain fragments of a particular discourse, you have to have those fragments which play a distinguishing role, and those fragments are then able to form a good or cohesive text or cohesive discourse. So that is why discourse topics have been of considerable interest to linguists, because of the relation between the topic of the discourse and various aspects of the grammatical structure of the sentence, including strategies for referent tracking, also pronominalization, as well as other different markers. In general, we form bridges when we believe the author intends for us to find a relationship between the context and the target, but has not spelled it out explicitly. Now, bridging is one of the strategies as we have already discussed, given new information strategies and something like that. So bridging is also a kind of strategy where you need to form or you need to create bridging when you need to find relationship between context and the target, and that has not been spelled out or has not been told or expressed explicitly. To give you an example how to form or make bridging inference, if you have an example where she got unwell in the last summer because of food poisoning, and then the second sentence could be, she got unwell this summer again. So how do you form a bridge? You form bridging in terms of looking at it, the kind of clue that can take you or form a bridge between the first sentence and the second with regard to the understanding or finding or getting the previous information. in these two sentences, the word again is the reference clue or the word that can form bridging. Now, in general, over here, when we are talking about new topics of discourse, bridging is something that can help us out, especially when there is not a direct information. When we are talking about the identifying new topics, there has to have a direct match between given information and the target or an antecedent immediately preceding it. Now, if we cannot find an antecedent readily, we might form a bridge between the antecedent and target. The example that I have just explained. Also, reinstatements are more likely to be used when we think of our failure to find a unique antecedent that has been caused by the carelessness of maybe the author. So you can see that in identifying new topics of discourse, you can have bridging, you can have reinstatement as well. And all of these strategies, which are bridging and reinstatement, share the implicit assumption that part of our target sentence should relate to earlier information. So when we are talking about bridging, bridging only takes place when you have two sentences where you need to relate to the earlier information, and then reinstatement is also when you are dealing with the old information. But sometimes the information is all new and the target is meant to establish a new topic of discourse. So what happens is that mostly, although you need to use these strategies to address the previous or earlier information, but situation can arise when the information is all new and you have to establish a new topic of discourse. Now, this is easy to detect when explicit markers such as now I want to explicit marker. Now I will draw your attention. So when you look at now, this information is new and the reference is not to the earlier information. Once introduced, this new information may itself serve as an antecedent for later sentences which are subordinated to it. Thus, the natural results of this integration process is hierarchical structure in episodic memory. The new information is generally taken as an elaboration, sometimes a small detail of the given information. To conclude, discourse topic is the central participant or idea of stretch of connected discourse and does incorporate bridging and reinstatements as effective strategies for discourse.